Hi, my name is Ariana Islas, and today I will be talking about Mr. Ng's class, or should I say Mr. Math Ng. One way Mr. Ng made learning really effective for me was his quotes. Every single morning when I would walk into his room, he would put quotes on the projector, even if it's like a sports quote or Disney quote or even just a science quote. It's just really inspiring quotes. And there's a question in the course evaluation that Mr. Ng had given us that says, what did Mr. Ng do to prevent you from learning the math? And quite honestly, he really didn't do anything. He went into classroom and just taught us, and I wanted to learn. It made me feel like I can understand math. Because I'm so sorry, Mr. Ng, but I've never really liked math before your class. Because you are so enthusiastic with your ways of teaching and just the way you work with kids and teens and, well, adults, I guess you can say. You're just such a friendly soul to be around. And when you put that with teaching, I feel like the kids would want to learn and they would want to like just be around you because, well, when you're nice, people are going to want to be around you. And when you're teaching them, they're going to want to learn because they like you. So put those things together and get good grades and go to college and just fun happiness for everyone. The main things that I successfully did in Mr. Ng's class was essentially just turn in all my work on time and paid attention. That is a really big thing for me, especially for teens, since we all have our weird little anxieties and ADHD and dyslexia. Well, I have a little bit of dyslexia. I'm just really bad at learning. But once you pay attention in class, it's literally the most, relieving thing when you know something and when you've learned something. It's amazing. I'm just glad I paid attention in class because all those other years, my freshman year, I had a teacher that didn't want to teach kids essentially like me, that doesn't know how to do the math. It's hard to teach them because they're slower than other people. My sophomore year, I had 3 different teachers. It was just hard, weird, didn't learn anything. My junior year, it was okay. It was just weird for me because it didn't feel like a math class. It felt like a teacher just wants to talk about every single problem that you have. Even though you're just like, I just want to do the math and I just want to learn. What I've learned in Mr. Ng's class was Desmos. I know it's not a really big thing to know or do. It's good to know Desmos because, Desmos. Another thing was digitally turning in all your work. And by digitally, obviously we're in the 21st century. We do everything with our phones, as I'm doing right now. And we did everything through Haiku, but we don't know her anymore. We know Schoology or Schoology or whatever how you guys pronounce it. And it's easy now that we know how to turn in everything. It's just a little bit more difficult. But you have your own Haiku Schoology thing. You have a Mr. Math Ng site to turn in everything. And trying to learn how to go through every single classroom, every single thing, it was difficult at first, but I figured it out. Everything is good. The best experiences I've had in Mr. Ng's class is definitely the friendships that you develop over time. And, new year, weird. Sometimes you know people, especially if you're a senior, you know people, but you don't really talk to people. But I guess that's just me because I'm kind of quiet, but what I'm trying to say is I've created friends that I would never expect myself to be friends with. And that makes me really happy because it's good to have friends in class that can help you with your math and to just like talk to. The grade that I would give Mr. Ng would definitely be an A. But I'm not just saying that. It's true. I really do like your class and it's really, really fun for me. But I would give you an A because you're just the most enthusiastic teacher I've ever met about math. You say, I love math wherever you want. It's like, it's such a like great and like funny like experience to like experience that, because I've never seen like an English teacher be like, I love English. It's just so wild how you do that, and especially with your wild ideas when you say, get me a vending machine with calculators and apple juice and apple slices and batteries for your calculators, and that's just wild ideas that you just come up with. But this is to all the students that may or may not be watching this. Note that Mr. Ng is very, very patient with every one of you guys. Yeah, he may have strict rules and whatever, but I like the strict rules because I've grown up with strict parents, and it definitely works and definitely helps me, because having strict parents is like, I know not the best, but is the best thing because they're doing the best thing for you, and Mr. Ng is doing the best thing for you. Even with all the late work you have to do multiplication tables and detention, like, you don't just have to serve it. You can write it out on a piece of paper. You can write a thank you letter to a teacher, and that can count as a detention. You can do multiplication tables, that will count as a detention. You can go to his chess club, it can count as a detention. But also, you come to school to learn. Don't pick a fight with the teacher because that's just annoying. I don't know why kids have to do that. You always have to pick a fight or give attitude. It's just annoying. You come here to learn. You don't come here to fight. Like, what are you fighting for? It's your grade? I'm fighting for my grade. How am I gonna fight for it? Arguing with the teacher? I didn't think so. Who does that? Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Have a good night or day wherever you are, and I'll see you literally tomorrow.